powerful blast rocks Kabul after Afghan army urges civilians to leave Taliban-controlled areas of major city. The explosion occurred close to acting Defense Minister Bismillah Mohammadi's residence, where 4 assailants were subsequently killed by Afghan security, according to a ministry spokesman. Mohammadi was not at home when the attack occurred, and he and his family are safe, the spokesman added. Taliban spokesman Zabihullah Mojahid claimed responsibility for the attack on behalf of the group in a message to the media on Wednesday. In recent weeks, Kabul has largely been spared from the violence hitting other parts of Afghanistan, as the Taliban continues its violent offensive following the withdrawal of US and NATO troops supporting the government. The Afghan capital was hit by another explosion Wednesday morning, however, resulting in 2 wounded people who were taken to the hospital. Earlier on Tuesday, an Afghan army commander had urged people in Lashkargah, the capital of Helmand province, to leave their homes if the Taliban was active in their area. Concerns continue to mount over the civilian toll of the militant group's advance on some of the country's biggest cities. Sami Sadat, who commands the 215 Maiwan Corps, said Monday that the military would be intensifying the fight against the Taliban in Lashkargah, and warned locals that it was best to leave in order to carry out their mission effectively. "We won't spare the Taliban alive at any cost," Sadat said in a voice message distributed to media. "My request is that if you get displaced for some days, please forgive us. As soon as you can, please leave those areas where the Taliban so the military can fight the group in those areas," he added. There is growing evidence that civilians are being killed and wounded in the ongoing clashes in Lashkargah. The UN assistance mission in Afghanistan tweeted Tuesday of its deepening concern for Afghan civilians as fighting worsens. At least 40 civilians have been killed and 118 civilians injured within the last 24 hours in Lashkargah, Anama said Tuesday, adding that UN urges immediate end to fighting in urban areas.
Human Rights Watch echoed the UN's concerns on Tuesday, saying that indiscriminate attacks, including mortars, rockets, airstrikes, other explosive weapons and gunfire are causing catastrophic injuries and deaths in Lashkargah. Images and video from the city showed university buildings on fire Tuesday. The Taliban claimed that Boston University was hit by an airstrike. There's been no word from the government. 2 police districts and a state-run TV station are now under Taliban control in Lashkargah. The city sits on strategic routes in all directions, including the highway between Kandahar and Herat and important agricultural areas to the south of the city. While the Taliban has long had a strong presence in Helmand province, including areas around Lashkargah, it has not occupied any part of the city since they were overthrown in 2001. Helmand might fall, the official added, in a rare admission by authorities of how imperiled the southern province is in the face of the Taliban offensive. It's not going well. In recent days, the United States has ramped up airstrikes on Taliban positions in an attempt to halt the militants' advances on Lashkargah, along with the provincial capital cities of Herat and Kandahar. The fighting is ongoing in Herat province, where the Taliban now controls 13 of 16 districts, according to the Long War Journal, a U.S. nonprofit that tracks control of territory in Afghanistan. Most of its gains came in the month of July. On Tuesday, the Defense Ministry said in a tweet that 41 Taliban had been killed in what it called joint clearing operations on the outskirts of Herat, saying that vast areas of the city were cleared of Taliban terrorists. Meanwhile, a Taliban spokesman claimed that several areas of Herat had fallen to the group and that Afghan forces and the militia of Ismail Khan are escaping and running from the area. Ismail Rasuli, a 40-year-old shopkeeper, said there was no security in the province and that it was impossible to sleep at night because of the clashes.
Rasuli said the Taliban were too close but that he wasn't afraid of the group overtaking the city. "What is important for us is security, no difference for us if the Afghan government rules or the Taliban," he said, adding, "We are fed up of the corruption inside the government system. We hope that we get a better government." On Monday night, he said, people had started chanting Allahu Akbar in support of the Afghan security forces. He said residents were divided into 2 categories, those working with the government and non-government organizations, who are afraid of the Taliban, and those who are self-employed, who aren't. Taliban gains ground. Afghan Foreign Minister Mohammad Hanif Atmar said Tuesday that the recent Taliban offensive had killed more than 3,000 people nationwide and displaced more than 300,000 in the last few months. The vast majority of the Taliban's territorial gains have come since the United States drawdown of forces began in May, after President Biden's announcement that all U.S. combat forces would leave Afghanistan by the end of August. The Pentagon has said about 95% of U.S. troops have already left, with the Taliban rapidly expanding their presence to large swaths of country. The speed at which Afghan security forces have lost control to the Taliban has shocked many and led to concerns that Kabul could be next to fall.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.